फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।
It's tea time on day 2 of India versus England's second test match in Visakhapatnam. The second session, which means the session that will follow after the tea. What will happen in that? Well, we are here in tea break and we'll be discussing what all happened post lunch. But where this session belonged, England or India? England started off well. They went for big shots, but thanks to Kuldeep Yadav and that Yorker from Jasprit Bumrah, Bumrah is unstoppable as always. A great, great man in this 11. And thanks to these two, Kuldeep and Bumrah, that India are in a comfortable position. Well, 123 runs came in this session, but 4 wickets as well. What Taus Rizvi and Kanav Bali have to say, let's hear out from them, because this session looks even Steven still now. Hello, Taus. Kanav, good to see you here. I think we are all smiling thanks to Kuldeep and Bumrah that they brought smiles on Indian fans' faces and all followers' faces. Taus, I'll go directly to that Yorker that Bumrah bowled. Have you seen any delivery better than that ever?
See, there have been balls bowled, but this was outstanding, especially coming against Ollie Pope. I mean, the man who snatched win from the jaws of defeat in the first test match. This was a crucial dismissal, and Jasprit Bumrah, who could have done better than Jasprit Bumrah. Here, I was in the past last session, I was talking about how Ashwin has to play a key role, but then it was Jasprit Bumrah and Kuldeep Yadav. Ashwin was a bit expensive, but then kudos to Bumrah and Kuldeep Yadav, who maintained pace or leveled this session with 4 wickets. I mean, these wickets were very crucial. I mean, the runs came at a good pace considering it's a batting track. But then when you take those kind of wickets, these wickets were big wickets because it was easier to bat. England were high on confidence. You can't get a better session than this. I would have been happy if it was like I said, like 150 should have been the target, but then they have overpassed 155. Now you have Ben Stokes and Johnny Bairstow, and these two guys are crucial. So you have to get them out quickly, ASAP, because I mean, if these guys stitched a partnership now, they are going to create a havoc because these guys are attacking players. They know how to play long inning. So I'm expecting another good spell from Bumrah, and I'm hoping that Ashwin comes into play because he's given away a lot of runs.
Yeah, and Bumrah is that ace in your team, that ace factor. Well, Kana, what do you have to say about Bumrah's ball? We'll talk about that ball for a bit because that was the game changer, I would say. Because if India have 4 wickets right now, thanks to that one Yorker that he bowled, other than that, England seemed pretty settled in this session. Obviously, Kuldeep did really well, but that one ball has changed quite a few equations.
Absolutely, and this frame, I feel like taking a printout and framing it and hang it on my wall. This is just peak Jasprit Bumrah stuff, and that this is the reason I say, and many people I say सब कहते हैं कि Bumrah is he is not dependent on the pitch, he is not dependent on the conditions, because जहाँ pace bowlers को कुछ नहीं मिल रहा होता वहाँ Yorker आ जाती है उनकी, and he knows how to use his Yorkers well. You have to be absolutely on your point to defend a Jasprit Bumrah Yorker. He's an absolute magician. As sports fan is saying, he's a magician. Privileged to watch him. Absolutely, yeah. The way this guy has brought a sort of change in Indian fast bowling, because earlier even Indian fast bowler used to be dependent on the conditions कि आपको या तो वो pitch वो conditions वैसी मिलेंगी तो they'll be fruitful, they'll be important. But Jasprit Bumrah is an absolutely magnificent. The way he balls, the way he takes his run up, और एक आपको believe होता है कि out of nowhere he is someone who can change the course of the game, and that's exactly what Bumrah has done. Those are 2 big wickets. Ollie Pope 196 last match. The way he scored in the last match we all know, and then Joe Root is always a big wicket, no matter if he's in form or if he's not in form. जो रूट की विकेट अपने आप में बहुत बड़ी विकेट होती है. तो जसप्रीत बुमराह एस कार्ड, and this is not the first time we are seeing Bumrah bailing Rohit Sharma, the captain, out of trouble. We have often seen Jasprit Bumrah standing up and making sure that he performs for the team and brings the team into a comfortable position. I won't say that India is completely out of trouble or they are in the driving seat or they are kind of okay. You can say or they are on the driving seat, but we can't say that they are way ahead in the game. There's still some work to do, but Jasprit Bumrah has got you to a point where you have a very good chance to kill England and then obviously take a big lead in the first inning.
Yeah, because if you see this whole session, there are two halves of this session. The first half, a lot many people might say that it belonged to the England team because the way they started getting runs. But the other half was completely in India's benefit. And I would call this session as India's session because taking 4 wickets before a tea is a good sign, which means that you're doing things some way or the other in the right direction. Now you really need to execute your plans and you really need to bundle the whole team out at this terms. Now we have only one session left, but we also have two key players of the England team batting. One is Johnny Bairstow, who seems really very comfortable on pitch, and then there is Ben Stokes. Ben Stokes has played only 10 balls so far, but he can be a massive game changer for the England team. We saw what he did for England in the first Test match, especially in the first innings. So that can be a really very interesting turnaround. But Taus, what do you think? In this whole session, we saw how Rohit Sharma managed to execute his plans well in terms of using Bumrah and Kuldeep Yadav. Also, Ashwin. Obviously, we know that Ashwin wasn't that effective, but Kuldeep and Bumrah. And we saw that one over from Mukesh Kumar at the very end when the tea break was approaching. What team India really need to do in the last session of the day?
Now that you have Ben Stokes, the wicket is only getting older and it's going to crack. They are going to there is going to be crack. Ashwin would come into play now. Ben Stokes, he's a left-hander. He struggles. I mean, you saw the last match how Ashwin got him out with a gem of a delivery. So Ashwin, there will be psychological edge. Ashwin will be having a serious psychological edge over Ben Stokes. But then the most important part here is Ashwin will have to give lesser number of runs because once he gets run, these guys will get confidence while Ashwin will be on the back foot. So here, Rohit Sharma's captaincy is concerned. I mean, I hope and good that he has realized that they have goofed up big time when it comes to batting. So he has to be on the ball when it comes to proactive. And the only way is to attack, which we have been saying. You can't be, you can't let it loose at all. Even if you have 396, or maybe you can say we are close to 400. No, you have 396. You don't have a 300, 400 plus total. So you have to
Yes.
be proactive throughout from ball one till you finish that the tail, till you finish polish off that tail completely. So Rohit will have to be very, very active, proactive, take those decisions, take bold decision when to bring in Ashwin, when Ben Stokes is batting, when to put that psychological edge over, when to bring in Jasprit Bumrah, how to use Kuldeep Yadav when things are not looking great. Akshar Patel, he also got 1 wicket, but then Akshar Patel will be of less use compared to these two bowlers. I mean, this guy, Captain Rohit Sharma, will be dependent on these two guys, but then you have Jasprit Bumrah to save you whenever there is crisis. So Rohit Sharma will be a happy man and a lot of fans. But then I would ask fans not to be, start, rejoicing because the match is yet to finish. We have to win this game if we want to, stay in the series. 1-1 करने का है तो आपको on the ball रहना पड़ेगा रोहित शर्मा को हमसे ज्यादा.
Yeah. And again, I say this in our live shows that you can't count out the England team till their last player is out and back in the pavilion because their tail enders also know how to add runs. They are not just full time bowlers, they know how to bat. They have batted in various leagues in their country and outside. So you really need to consider that factor also. And currently, Johnny Bairstow and Ben Stokes are batting. So obviously, it's going to be really tough for Team India. Kanav, what do you think? How Team India should approach this final session? Because it seems that 3 or 4 wickets can come in this final session, given the way Bumrah is currently bowling and Kuldeep Yadav is having his day.
See again, wickets again. जो इन्होंने इस सेशन में किया, that is the most important thing. You need to take wickets, and as they said that Bairstow and Stokes, two main players in the middle order, and जितने early dismissals, but then again they'll try to play their shots. और जिस तरीके की फील्ड I'll really appreciate, एक दो गलती अभी भी फिर की रोहित शर्मा ने. मुकेश कुमार again was brought back into the attack
Yeah,
when you needed Akshar Patel. वहां पे अक्षर
yeah,
पटेल की जरूरत थी, आप मुकेश कुमार ले आए, ठीक है, आप कुछ ट्राई कर रहे थे, वो नहीं चला. अक्षर पटेल जब आए उन्होंने आते ही क्रॉली की विकेट ले ली. एंड दीज आर लिटिल मिस्टेक्स दैट रोहित शर्मा इज स्टिल मेकिंग, बट रिलेटिवली फील्ड सेटिंग आई वाज स्लाइटली मोर इम्प्रेस कि बेटर थी. वो पैनिक मोड में नहीं आए, वो फील्ड फैली नहीं, अटैकिंग पोजीशंस पे थे. एंड दैट इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट रोहित शर्मा एंड द बॉलर्स नीड टू डू. सी द बॉलर्स आर डूइंग नथिंग रॉन्ग, they are at the point वो एकदम वही बॉल कर रहे हैं जो जरूरी है. But then again Stokes and Bairstow are two players, they won't look at the wicket column. उनको नहीं फर्क पड़ेगा 4 विकेट गिरी है, 5 गिरी है, 6 गिरी है, जितने भी गिरी है, they will play their shots. और उन shots के बीच में you will get your opportunities like you got क्रॉली के शॉट में you got an opportunity. उन्होंने एक 4 मारा and then
yeah,
वो अपने आप बॉल हवा में खड़ी हो गई. And a splendid catch by Shreyas Iyer. I think we need to mention the catch that Iyer took there, that is of utmost importance. And then again वही जो मैंने कहा, स्टोक्स और बेयरस्टो आपको मौका देंगे, आपको मौका लेना है. यू डोंट हैव टू ड्रॉप द कैचेस, सबसे पहली बात. होपफुली अभी तक थैंकफुली कैचेस पकड़ी गई हैं. अब जो भी मौके आएंगे आपको वो ग्रैब करने हैं. एंड देन यू हैव टू बी ऑन योर मार्क ऑल 6 balls in an over. आपको मिलेगा मौका, स्टोक्स और बेयरस्टो आपको खुद मौका लेके देंगे, अनलेस यू आर जसप्रीत बुमराह हु क्रिएट्स एन अपॉर्चुनिटी आउट ऑफ नोवेयर. वो जो यॉर्कर्स उनके आती हैं वैसी. सो जस्ट स्टिक टू द बेसिक, जस्ट डू व्हाट यू हैव बीन डूइंग सो फार इन दिस मैच, इन दिस सेशन, व्हाट यू डिड इन द मिडल सेशन. नाउ लास्ट सेशन है स्टंप्स की तरफ का. आखिरी के कुछ ओवर में यूजुअली हर टीम स्लो हो जाती है क्योंकि दे वांट टू जस्ट स्टे ऑन द क्रीज टिल द स्टंप्स. स्टोक्स और बेयरस्टो नहीं होंगे. आखिरी ओवर भी है, अगर छक्का उनको लग रहा है मौका है तो वो मारेंगे. एंड दैट इज एग्जैक्टली वेयर यू नीड टू पुट प्रेशर ऑन देम. एंड द मोर यू टेक, क्योंकि पिछले मैच में आपका 190 की लीड थी, दैट वाज नॉट इनफ. तो दिस टेल्स यू कि 190 इज नॉट इनफ. तो आपको जितने रन्स की लीड मिलेगी वो कम पड़ेगी. आपने वही कोशिश करनी है कि जितनी जल्दी हो सके आगे की विकेट्स ली जाए, बिकॉज इंग्लैंड बैट्स डीप.
yeah. And at tea break, England are trailing by 241 runs, and this England team will try to go near to this mark at the end of day 2. So, what's needed in the next session, the upcoming session, is to for Team India to take more and more wickets, and the onus will be on Jasprit Bumrah and Kuldeep, and also Ashwin. We really can't count out Ashwin. He's a key
Yeah.
player. He has done it so many times for Team India, and he might do it again for Team India. But those two balls that have been bowled in this last session by Jasprit Bumrah, really unbelievable, especially the one to Ollie and the ball where he got Joe Root's wicket. That was help us understand Joe Root's wicket as well, because Root was seen very troubled by Bumrah's bowling in both the directions, and the in-swinging ball that took him out of the field, that also just help us understand the whole setup that Bumrah did for Joe Root's wicket.
See, the beauty of Bumrah is that this guy knows exactly how to use the older ball. I mean, the reverse swing that he gets. If you saw Ollie Pope's Yorker, that was completely reverse swing. That was bowled from outside the angle. He bowled the ball, came in from, when I'm talking about Ollie Pope. So he bowled from the outside and the ball reverse swung a lot. So, and when it comes to Joe Root, he planned, in a very great way to trouble this guy Joe Root with different kind of variations.
Yeah.
This wicket is easier to bat on. So most of the time the batters become very casual. They know that the bat would come easily. The ball has gotten older, and this reverse swing is something that comes into effect suddenly when the pace increases. This guy and bowlers are very smart in a certain manner to use in a very in a certain way. So Joe Root, exactly. I mean, the way he got this ball, unbelievable. Oli Pop के बाद जो second dismissal होगा, I would say fool किया. I mean, you have to keep foxing on. You have to keep troubling. How Jimmy Anderson at the age of 41 keeps troubling batsmen with the new ball. Jasprit Bumrah is exactly opposite when it comes to the older ball. So he's the master of reverse swing right now, when I don't see anybody in the world. So yeah, it was a setup. It was the way he was troubling Joe Root. Joe Root might have been in two minds, considering okay, it's a long target, but then I have to stay there, I have to maintain that pace, strike rate, or or run rate. So that would have triggered him. And also Ashwin's, being a bit expensive would have made him much laid back, I would say, much in a
Yeah.
comfortable zone. So this was a great opportunity for Bumrah to come in and get that edge and dismiss Joe Root, a big player who could have been, if he stayed there, he could have been a big trouble for us.
Yeah, and as the final session of the day has begun, let me tell all our viewers that Rohit Sharma was seen telling something to Kuldeep Yadav in a very animated fashion about his bowling, which seems that they are discussing about some plans. They're discussing how to take wickets. It's just a guess from this side, but most likely they might be discussing that only. And Jasprit Bumrah is back into the attack. Obviously, a magnificent spell after lunch, and now post tea, we are expecting Jasprit Bumrah to do the great work for Team India. Let's see what will happen next in this match. It's going to be a fun session. And for all the people who have been asking us about Vineet and others, let me tell you once again that we will have a detailed session at 6:45 p.m. We will have our extended panel. We'll be talking about the whole day's game, and also join us at Stumps. We will be with you at Stumps. We'll be discussing the whole course of the day, but the detailed discussion will happen at 6:45 p.m. So keep your alarms on, as we'll be meeting you at that time. Thank you so much.
फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।